he said, "Man, let's go, bro. I ain't finna play with these niggas like that. Before I fuck around to hurt somebody."
And that's when all hell broke loose, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, man.
And that was
that's a
after it
sad
sounded like he was
situation all
insulting the way a
around.
guy looked, right? And the guy was dressed.
Well, I don't know because
Well, who was saying like
um
dressing like you just came back from playing a game of basketball or some shit like that?
I don't know. I don't even know everything. I don't know the context. You know what I mean? Like, and if I start thinking about the context of how it happened, then it's just gossip. But the one thing I did hear and see him say from the video is, "Man, let's go, man. Let's get up out of here if I had to hurt somebody."
And you know what, man? Like you said, it's all about context. They could have very much been joking around, bro.
No.
Or
Well,
they could have
also,
not
didn't
been
he
taking.
say right before that? Wasn't he talking about the way somebody was dressed? Because I didn't understand
I
from the
don't
audio
know,
you
but I
played.
don't even think that's as important as that one specific line. Before
Yeah,
I have to hurt somebody.
you know, G, coming from the area place that we come from, bro, you really can't play with people, man. You can't make idle threats. Because I know I take threats very seriously because I've seen people make threats and carry those threats out. So I can't afford to play with you.
And I
And
want
threats
to
are as
ask
good as
you,
challenges.
I know I consider that a threat. Don't you consider that a threat?
Oh, very much so. Very much so. If a guy is in the, especially if we out of town, right? And they some
Yeah.
out of towners, and they tell me, let's say we are with some guys from wherever, from Houston, New York, Boston, it could be whatever. And I hear that nigga say, "Man, let's go before I have to hurt one of these niggas." I'm gonna handle my business because I don't know what you got on your mind at that point. I don't know if you just talking to just being braggadocious or boisterous at that point, and might go on about your business, or I don't know if you gonna turn around dumping. I know it was something that didn't need to be said. If they was gonna leave, they should have just left and went on about their business.
And that's my point. Somebody could hear this and automatically think like I'm blaming Quavo, right, for what happened with Takeoff. And it's not. What I'm saying is the importance of the shit that come out of our mouth. The energy we bring with the shit that come out of our mouth, especially in those situations. Right now, you know, mainstream media and some people in the culture will make you believe that hip hop is under attack from the fans.
Not at all, brother. Not at all. This has nothing to do
And
with hip hop.
I listened to that, right? Because you heard 1,000 stories specifically about cuz that situation with them, dice games, basketball games, gambling, blah, blah, blah. But that little small tidbit, right? That little small tidbit right there. Let's get up out of here if I have to hurt somebody. Paraphrasing. That anywhere in any ghetto is pretty much a threat.
And at the minimum, you might catch your ass whooping. It's not a mic. You are going to catch your ass whooping. Somebody's gonna make you stand on. Okay, you go hurt somebody. We go make
We're
you
gonna
hurt somebody.
see. We need to see. We
Mm-hmm.
need to
That's why I say
see.
it's as much a challenge as a threat, especially when you're out of town. You're gonna go on someone else's turf, say, "Oh, I'm gonna come down here and I'm gonna have to hurt somebody." Who are you gonna hurt? You're not from out here. Who are you gonna hurt?
And
Show
I
me.
just was thinking, like, cause right, Takeoff funeral, recipes to Takeoff, and I feel really sick for Quavo and Offset. I mean, I know they're going through whatever they're going through as they group, but you know, Quavo and him was like brothers. Now, I mean, I know Takeoff was his nephew, but they were like brothers. They were raised like brothers because they so close in age.
Mm-hmm.
And fucking,
It's a little advertising.
they were so close in age. But when people ask me about situations, I did the hip hop homicide thing, right? 50 Cent is producing, Van Lathan, P. Frank. Shout out to P. Frank from up top. Much respect to my peoples that's making their moves and going legit. And I said certain things on the television show. Make sure you check it out. Hip Hop Homicides, uh, 50 Cent, P. Frank, Van Lathan. It's really dope. It's on WeTV cable. But I said some things and I realized a few people felt some kind of way because I said what I said. And they asked me this, "Hey man, Glasses, how do you go around just saying what you want to say?" And I'm like, well, I don't really say what I want to say. I say what needs to be said. I won't say anything extra. Prime example, in that particular situation with Quavo, I would never tell no niggas, not even out of town. I wouldn't tell niggas from 117th Street, from my actual gang. If I'm having a conversation with Pluck and Boo, my homeboys, and we right there and we have a disagreement, the last thing I would say is, let me get up out of here if I had to hurt somebody. I'm going to do one or two. Man, I'm finna get up out of here. Y'all tripping. Let me get up out of here. I'm leaving. Or I'm just going to hurt somebody.
Yeah, pretty much.
There's no need to explain. And I don't know if this is hip hop. You know, again, I think we've had a conversation and I told y'all how I feel about flexing, how flexing brings this really weird attention to us because we're always flexing on poor people. So it brings us unnecessary energy. Well, also, like that stunning or flexing culture, also there's this ridiculous sense of bravado of where we want to demean each other. Like we don't physically sometimes just want to get our point across. The goal is to demean somebody else, to say something to make them feel like not physically apply pressure and go through that physical exchange, but literally to defeat them in a way to make them feel like less than. So we'll say something like, man, I hurt you niggas, or I beat your ass. Like, why would you say? It's like parents when you have kids. You tell your kids, I'm beat your ass when I get home. That is the worst part of the whooping. That 3-4 hours you wait for your parents to get home, waiting on that ass whooping is torture. So somebody telling you, man, I beat your ass, or maybe knock you out. Me and my younger brother, K-Style, we argue about that all the time. I always tell him, you do too much talking, feel me, and way too much warning. Like if I'm gonna fight you, I'm just gonna take off on you. I'm not gonna say I'm gonna hurt you, I'm gonna knock you out. If I'm saying that, I really don't want to fight you.
And from what I understand, bro, they had been playing basketball. Now this is just what I heard. I'm like
And still,
everybody else got to
that's
listen.
all. This is all out of this is
So
all stuff we heard. So go ahead.
so you don't know if they had just been woofing back and forth with each other. That's why I don't play with people. Some people like playing when you get in the heat of competition, people get to getting comfortable and stuff is said. Everybody not playing, bro.
Pete, when you grew up in high school, is that something that's okay for somebody to say? I'm gonna leave here before I have to hurt one of y'all.
Yeah, the difference, like the most radical difference that I learned in a immediate time was going from like night bars where there's a lot of liquor flowing around in coastal Orange County to Oakland, because I moved obviously there in a day. So from Friday night I'm at one joint, and then Saturday night I'm in Oakland. It's like someone steps on your shoe, you give them a look. If they don't acknowledge an apology, the brawl happens in 9 seconds.
Sure.
Because people don't not want to get involved. They want to get involved. It's like the old adage, the wish factor. Whereas like in Orange County, guys will huff and puff and woof because they're trying to save face, like they want to look like they're tough, but they really don't want to do it. So they'll try to like posture the other person into bluffing or backing out because they really don't want to do it.
And I think that's what's happening more times than not.
Big time.
No ceilings, GL, usual. My brother Peter Boss up in the Spitznats. Resident expert podcast savant, Big Steele. What's up, big bro?
Man, I'm good, man. One thing I wanted to say about this, we having this conversation. Condolences, man, to them and their families, man. It's like you said earlier, I know they're going through it as a father, as a friend. I feel that, man. Death is never easy, but when it comes in this manner, it's just so unnecessary. Because, in Proverbs, it says, man, the tongue speaks life and death. There is a lot of power in the things that you say, bro.
And I'm one of those people that really believe that. Like I don't call men bitches. If I think you're a bitch, I'm gonna treat you like one. I'm gonna start beating your ass. You know what I'm saying? Straight up.
Yeah, I think
I don't get into the whole, useless verbiage of trying to defeat your mental, of trying to make you feel like less than. I'm gonna show you. If I'm gonna show you I'm superior, we physically gonna get into it so I can show you and validate whatever point I'm trying to make. But today's time, because of social media, I think is getting way worse because people are used to saying what they want to say and not be held accountable.
Mm-hmm.
And I every time I think about Takeoff passing away, again, rest in peace. And I feel bad for his family, all the rap group, the whole Atlanta. You know what I mean? They really love them boys. The whole Georgia. Everybody actually, the whole world loved them. It was tough. But I hear that repeating in my head over and over again. And this is that culture that's happening over and over again. I saw an interview or I saw P&B Rock on live and him saying did niggas knew better than to rob him. See, it's one thing to put some of this shit in rap lyrics and rap it. It becomes a jam in a song. It's another thing to issue a challenge to poor people going through it, looking at you like maybe you could provide an opportunity and switching their vision into you becoming the opportunity.
Mm-hmm.
Did you see that time he was on live that I'm talking about?
I saw that.
And he was just talking crazy.
Again, the tongue speaks life and death, man. When you speak stuff into the universe, man, you're pretty much asking for it to occur. You asking for it to happen. If I go outside today and I tell somebody bumps my shoulder, we in the grocery store, and I tell him, you touch me again, man, I'm gonna fuck you up. If I get beat down in the store that day, that wasn't nobody's fault but mine.
Yeah. I don't understand what people are warning each other for.
I
Warning
think
each other. Go ahead, Peter.
I feel like from what I've observed in the community, there's two parallel yet perpendicular hierarchies of respect, and you can either be a part of the one or part of the other. Everybody wants to be both, but more often than not, you're going to be one or the other, and that's a financial hierarchy, or it's just you as a brute force man hierarchy. And for a lot of people who haven't moved up the financial hierarchy, it's look, this is my name. It's very important to me. You might drive a better car than me, but I'll beat the dog shit out of you here and now because that's what I put my name on. That's my respect. My respect comes that way. It doesn't come from my tax returns. So you start issuing these challenges to that, something that, a lawyer takes his profession very seriously. Maybe people in that type of an environment take something else very seriously. So you start to throw words around. Now you're demanding that I validate who I am right now.
Yeah, and whether we realize it or not, G, this is the same parallel as Orlando and Tupac. It's just two different scenarios.
Mm.
Two different scenarios, because with rappers, they have a certain posturing that they do. And like, how they went off on Joe Buttons that time? Of course, Joe Buttons and academics not gonna fight y'all. That's not what they do. So I think people get comfortable running off at the mouth a little bit too much, man. They don't realize sometimes that everybody don't give a damn about your status.
Because when you got money, now you're a Newport fighter. Now you want to yap and you don't want to fight because your hierarchy is defined by your finance and your profession.
Mm-hmm.
Is this only a cultural problem, Pete, or is this everywhere throughout masculinity?
I would imagine that that's men in general. I mean, this doesn't happen in the Latino community.
Can you walk into Whole Foods and be like, "Man, you need to move out my way before I have to hurt somebody," and the man just move out your way?
If I were yeah. If I'm at the grocery store in Newport Coast or down on whatever South Miami, the grocery store on Key Biscayne, it's an insular, highly wealthy environment.
Mm-hmm.
Physically, I can do whatever the fuck I want to if I want to. I'm not gonna take that shit over to Liberty City, over to Food for Less on Wilmington. I'm not going over there and doing that shit.
But you don't think none of those white folks up in that particular grocery
I know for a fact because I'm the guy that loses his fucking patience in that environment. I'm that guy.
Mm.
Because when people get mad at me down there, the last time I saw a bar fight in where I come from, for fish story reasons that I didn't tell, I had this bizarre reputation that people thought I was like somebody to really be reckoned with. My friends, of which there were 4, and the opposition was 10, were really wasted, and I really wasn't drinking that night. So I knew that they couldn't defend themselves, right? So I'm like, let me just get my 4 buddies out of here, because if this thing turns into a situation, they can barely walk. They're going to die. Like, they'll be the first people stomped to death by surfers. So let's get them the hell out of here. So I'm just trying to get them out of there. Of course, the whole shit, everybody in that whole parking lot took shots to the face except me. Nobody would touch me. It was unbelievable. I grabbed guys off of one of my friends, threw them on the ground, looked at him, didn't get up, just stayed there. Look healthy. Just looked at me, didn't want to touch me. It was bizarre. But when you got a lot to lose, you don't want to lose it.
Exactly. And again, man, I just think that we're in the era, G, that where people are so full of hubris and braggadocious that they really feel like they're above, almost like they're above anybody actually reacting to what they said. They're used to pretty much saying what they want to and getting on about their business with no type of repercussions.
Right now, in a time where, again, people are saying that, like, oh, rappers is under attack or rapping is a dangerous job, versus understanding these are the people that are the master of words, and it really comes down to the words that they are using. That's something I keep thinking about. Still, can somebody call you a bitch in McDonald's?
No. A man called me a bitch, G, he dying that day.
Like,
I'm
you
going
cut
to
him
jail.
down, he like, hey man, I was here first. You like, oh man, it's no problem, I didn't know. Yeah, nigga, yo, bitch ass nigga.
No, bro. We fighting that day. We knuckling up.
You need to see.
Yeah,
You need to see who's the bitch.
Yeah, we gonna have to knuckle up. He gonna have to stand on calling me a bitch. He gonna have to really stand on that day.
How about you, Pete? Is that something you just walk away from?
If they're lucid, I'm gonna make them earn it.
You had to deserve to call you one.
I mean, like if like like guys at the grocery store want money, and I'm like, get the hell out of here. Fuck you, bitch. I'm like, dude, you're a homeless crack, and you don't know what day it is.
And like Peter said, it depends.
You're gonna have to earn it.
If it depends, G, if it's like a
let's say it's the manager.
If the manager, I'm gonna handle that way different. Because you call me a bitch in your store, you feel what I'm saying? If he's gonna lose his job that day for damn sure. Because
what about you, Pete? The manager, like you said, oh no, you get a burger back. I asked for no onions. Oh, I had to make this. I had to make it again.
If you want to take it out of the professional environment, that's fine. I'm not gonna try to act like this is now out of the professional environment, but then try to backdoor it back in. Like, I'm not gonna like act a certain way, dare you to call me some names, and then try to get you fired for calling me some names. But if you want to do that, look, if you want to quit your job here and now, the parking lot's right there. That's fine.
Yeah,
I'm not gonna call corporate. I won't call corporate. But if you want to quit your job right now, the parking lot's right there.
Yeah, see, and it depends on the it depends on the circumstances. Like you said, the manager might even get knocked out that day. It depends on how, on how it was. Is he mumbling under his breath, and did I hear him when I was leaving?
No, he said it to you.
Oh yeah, you know what, man? Honestly, he might
like he's trying to degrade you.
He may get slid behind that register that day, though.
What's some overreacting? Like what's a, because now as a gang member, right? People think that you come from a culture of overreacting.
You have to know where you are, because to be honest with you, G, and this is just a law, and me just being more of a thinker now than anything else, you have to recognize what situation you in, because honestly, if I'm in the Albertsons and the guy calls me a bitch, if I knock that man out, G, I'm going to jail, because it doesn't matter. You can't go around putting your hands on people for words they say to you. That's the law. If a man called me a bitch and I knock him out, he fuck around and hit his head in the counter and die, I'm going to jail for murder, not behind a word. It's a little different. Now, if I'm outside and a dude bumps into my car or whatever like this, say, bitch ass nigga, watch out. Oh, I'm sliding that nigga.
And that's the point. Like, that's the subtlety of the snitching conversations we keep having. If you want to keep this in a law enforced environment, keep it in a law enforced environment.
But see, the difference is, hold on, Peter, let me tell you the difference now. That dude that calls you up, first of all, I'll look at situations. If it's a little 5'9" dude, 150 pounds, soaking wet, and he called me a bitch ass nigga, first thing I'm thinking, this motherfucker got a hammer in his pocket. Or he got a hammer on him. I'm gonna have to whoop his ass because I'm not gonna let him get off of me with the hammer. Who's to say who's to say if I try to be the bigger man, I don't wind up getting smoked that day? I know that manager in that store, he's not coming with no intentions like that. He's not a threat beyond his word.
For sure.
You understand what I mean? He's not a threat. It's kind of like, you know what? I'm not gonna get into it with this motherfucker in the store. I'm gonna go to jail today. But that dude outside, he very much may have a pistol on his ass. There's some motherfuckers just looking to give it to a motherfucker, Pete. And when you talk,
100%.
Am I right, G? It's some motherfuckers just looking to test a motherfucker.
And that's kind of where I was going with it. If you're in a protected by law environment, you have to understand what is going to happen in that environment. And if you're not, understand what's going to happen in that environment, but don't try to bring the one into the other. That's all I was going to say.
Yeah, you can't both, man. You got to leave the gorilla outside sometimes.
Yeah, don't bring the law into...
So you mean it's okay if somebody call you a bitch ass nigga at the Beverly Center?
No, I'm saying...
It depends on the premise again.
Let's say you in the Beverly Center and you walking with Jazz, you know, your daughter, your wife, and a dude see you and he like, fucking nigger. Like he just see you.
Like,
at which place is it okay to just go to jail? To me, that's the separation between being a street, minus the word gang member. Let's take that out of the equation. Let's just say abiding by the laws of the street, where you pretty much have a sense of justice. Which place for a regular person like you, Steele, who's not necessarily into the lifestyle, is like, you know what, this is worth going to jail over?
You know what, G? When you said my wife and daughter with me, my wife and daughter in my presence, and they walking with me, I'm probably gonna walk away from most situations because I'm not gonna put them in no type of danger. You understand what I mean? Because now it's just not me I'm worried about. If I'm by myself and somebody say that, I could whoop this dude's ass and I could deal with whatever come with it, right? But if Jasmine and Maria there, how do I know his homies ain't gonna run out the store? Now my daughter and my wife getting packed out and I'm fighting 2 or 3 dudes. You feel what I mean?
I'll put them in a nigger in front of your wife.
In front of my wife, I'm gonna make sure I get them to safety, dog. And then if I run across dude again, it is what it is. Yeah. It depends now. If it's me and you walking together and somebody say something out the pocket, oh, it's going down. But if I'm with my daughter, man, and my wife, I can't put them in a situation, bro. I have walked away from situations.
What if he called them nigger lovers? Like he nigger lovers.
He would be able to say what he wanted to, but the moment he encroached, I'm talking about if he came in my wife's face or something like that, oh, he
didn't hit her.
Then. If any threatening matter, he getting fucked
up. You love this nigger?
We going on about our business. Maria not gonna even let me fight him, dog. My wife is not gonna let me fight him. Because that's ignorant, dog. It's like sometimes you have to know when to walk away as a man.
I don't know, man. I think I got to give him what he asked for.
Well, you know what? I'm gonna tell you, bro. If you with your stepdaughter and with Brandy, dog, you gonna think her way different.
Oh, I'm gonna tell him back up.
You gonna think way different. She's not gonna want to back up though, bro. She's gonna be trying to pull you out the danger. Like, fuck what you talking about? Let's go.
We about to dance. The dance.
CG, I'm gonna tell you something, bro. The whole thing, the issue going on, this has nothing to do with hip hop. This is all about hubris and testosterone, bro, and people feeling themselves and thinking.
Is it really? If somebody is trying to demean you, like if somebody's trying to demean you, why is it required that you say, okay? So in the Christian faith, they teach you to turn the other cheek. So I totally understand that. But what if you're not operating from that table? At which place does justice make sense? Is it fair to say if I slap him upside his face, is that the equal to him calling me a nigger?
Again, bro, you have to assess the threat. The manager, the dude working inside a Foot Locker, he more than likely ain't got no hammer on him. The dude is out there talking reckless. More than likely, he's talking reckless for a reason because he feels like he has the upper hand somehow.
Let's say, but are you saying the words only matter if you feel there's an imminent danger after it?
Yes. Because the thing is, bro, my confidence is very high. I'm not no bitch ass motherfucker. So a dude, some motherfucker calling me out my name don't define who I am, but it depends on the situation and the circumstances. If I feel like, you know what, this dude, I'm gonna have to fuck him up because this motherfucker dangerous. He may have a hammer on him. Some motherfuckers is more dangerous with knives than they are with guns. It's some bad motherfuckers with knives out there. So you have to eliminate that threat. I'm not gonna give a dude a chance to get off on me, dude. I'm not gonna give you a chance if I feel like, and you
So
have to
you
really
definitely,
assess
so
that.
you are more, so you are more into the habit of people can say what they want to each other, and nobody should react.
Oh, no, I didn't say that at all. It depends on the situation, bro. It's not worth me putting my family in danger. That's for damn sure. It's just not worth me. See, G, you know, some people, man, some folks have a certain low self-esteem about themselves to where every little thing somebody say about them. It's like, dude, like you just got on me the other day. You got to laugh at some of these motherfuckers, dog. It depends on who it is, you know.
Yeah.
They answer the picnic, dog. Some of these motherfuckers answer the picnic.
Or we just go whoop their ass.
You know, you especially when you just know you can whoop a motherfucker's ass. It's like a little 6-year-old badass kid. Like this little kid spit at me one day in the store. And I swear, if Christopher would have been little, I had Chris whoop that little boy's ass. But what was I gonna do? Slap the shit out the little kid, even though he's out of line. And I told his mom, I said, you need to get him. I said that's not appropriate. You need to get that little bad motherfucker.
What about you, Pete?
For me personally,
yeah,
depends on the source and the context. I get that shit so often, you know.
So it's a whole bunch of people just calling you bitch ass motherfuckers, Peter.
Every time I go out.
Every
time I go out. I'll be very blunt. Anytime, I'll be really, really, really blunt. Anytime I'm around you guys with one of my girls, that's happening. If I'm not with
if
10 of my friends
with you and some brothers see you, they tripping.
Yep.
Again,
Pete, I ain't never been. If we, I can't wait till you come back home and we go somewhere because I want to see somebody call you one while I'm right there.
First of all, hold on, let me say something, man. Me being originally from the Midwest, I used to always argue with my partners about this. We would be somewhere random and they may see a white dude with a black girl and they would get mad as a motherfucker. And I'd be like, dude, as much white pussy as y'all getting, what are y'all worried about that? What that white boy doing from? She had
I'll give them white girls' numbers if they want them. I don't give
and that's my thing. It's like, dude, as long as it's not my girl, you messing with my girl or I don't give a damn.
Yeah. I need uglier bitches, though. I need uglier ones.
That's a self-esteem thing because if you're worried about what the next man having, that's an issue. That's lame, G.
I know me and Pete if me and Pete went somewhere and somebody called Pete a bitch ass nigga, I'm firing that shit off.
Oh yeah, I would fuck their ass up for you, Peter.
But they're not gonna do it if you around. When I'm with my friends, most of my friends are huge guys. No one says a word. The second I'm at somebody's birthday and I come alone, as soon as I walk to the bathroom, someone's sliding. Oh, they seen me from 40 minutes ago. As soon as I leave, they come catch me. They catch me right outside the bathroom. I've had it happen 4 or 5 times. And they name a girl's names and shit like that. I mean, I'm like, bro, when was this? I don't even
like last Thursday, my nigga. Move on. I'm
like, I don't even know your bitch. I'm like, if you have to pull your phone out and show me a picture of your bitch, this is low priority shit to me. But I know that.
That's jealousy right there, man. That's envy and jealousy, and I would never.
No, that may not be envy and jealousy. Pete might be fucking somebody bitch.
I didn't know who this guy was or what's going on. One time this happened, these dudes came up on me at what's that hookah place over off of Hollywood Boulevard that's way up in the little alleyway off of Hollywood?
I don't even go to
whatever. Me neither. I hate them, but anyhow. And I forgot the girl's name even in the story, but it's like, oh, you be talking to such and such.
It's lame to fight over pussy anyway, man, because we don't own like any pussy that you got, dog. I don't care who it is, dog. That's your shit on leash, dog. A woman go do what the fuck she want to do. I'm not fighting nobody over no pussy, dog.
Yeah, but that ain't always why niggas fight, though.
It's not always why they're not challenging me over the girl. They challenge me over, am I going to stand there and do this?
Now, the thing is, G, I agree with that. Not to get too off the subject now. If it's just a toss up dog, a toss up broad, and it's a random nigga, like it's like if it's your girl and it's a random dude, you can't be mad at that dude because he don't know who the fuck you are. If I find out you a Peter knocking my people down, it's gonna be an issue. I'm gonna try to bring it to y'all niggas and her.
Wait a minute. Did the person come inside my house or he just seen her?
It don't matter.
But if he came in my house and seen me in clothes, I'm shooting him.
Oh yeah, for sure, dog. And that's a sign of disrespect right there because you well within your rights. My thing is this: you shouldn't even be looking at the homie's woman.
Well, I'm not even talking about the homie's woman. I think
it ain't even the homie. It could be a perfect.
I think you have a culture of men that try to sleep with other people's girlfriends, whether they know them or not, girlfriends, wives, whatever. You know what I mean? For the sake of one upping a nigga, one upping somebody. So it's like that's why I don't believe in that shit of, oh, well, you know what? I ain't tripping. You know, it's her. She could do no, because it ain't about you. If it was like some genuine stuff, it'd be different. But I know dudes who really just target people's girl. They target.
You're 100% right. If you target somebody's girl, it's like, gee, let's say I don't know you, right? But I know that your lady is your lady, right?
Yeah.
From the moment I know you, bro, I deserve anything to come my way for stepping out of line, trying to step to your woman, because I already saw she had a guy.
So let me ask you a question. Back to the point I'm saying, I digress. If somebody calls you a nigger in the mall, do they deserve to be slapped in the face?
It depends on the premise. Now, if it's an aggressive ass mother, now if it's a 90-year-old man, I'ma laugh at pops and say, man, get your old prejudice ass on.
I'm tripping him too.
But if it's a motherfucker that's one of them young Aryan skinhead motherfuckers, I'm gonna try to beat the dog shit out of his ass. Everything he ever thought bad about black, he gonna feel that day.
Where you at with freedom of speech, Pete? Does freedom of speech mean you shouldn't be legally prosecuted for something you say, or it shouldn't be people should just get on and don't care about what you think?
Freedom of speech is a legal principle.
Sure.
That's what it is. There's a philosophical benefit to freedom of speech, but again, like other than okay, so let's even take it out of the physical threat environment, right?
Okay.
So let's say I own a transmission store and I want to put up a Confederate flag at my transmission store. Am I legally allowed to? Yes. Do I need to consider that it might possibly be bad for business moving forward? I would probably be smart to do that as also.
Sure.
So I might not get sued. I might get jumped. At minimum, I'm going to take a significant financial loss. So whether it's that ramification, whether it's I can say whatever I want to say. What are you going to do? Sue me? No, but I'll drag you across this fucking parking lot. Well, what cost are you willing to pay?
That's fair. That's also why I feel like the things that come out of our mouths, we don't think. And people, for as wild as people think that I talk, I'm always thinking about still how many arguments we done got into.
A whole bunch of them, countless over the years.
Have I ever called you out your name in life?
No. And I never
have I ever threatened you?
We don't do that. We fight like brothers fight, dog. We talk shit, then go on about it and be laughing about it the next day, or just don't say nothing about it at all.
Disagree. Have I ever called you out your name? Have I ever said, Pete, man, don't make me hurt you?
Not that I can recall. I would have left promptly.
My thing is, I'm not gonna say it because what if you win?
Yeah.
I cannot be. I've been in enough fights to understand you can't really whoop nobody. You can't size up and whoop nobody. You actually have to physically go through a fight. So it's a way you talk to other human beings. You know what I'm saying? When you talk to them, especially if it's somebody, you know, if it's somebody even I beat up, I'm going to talk to them like I got some sense because I know I beat them up. They might shoot me this time.
Yeah, yeah. I mean,
but there's this weird space that's happening in the landscape, and I'm blaming social media where people feel like they can say whatever they want. Like you could be in a bowling alley, right? And minus wherever bowling alley, whether you in Georgia, Texas, California, any bowling alley, I would never say to a bunch of niggas, that's even my niggas, even my guys, I would not say, man, let me get up out of here if I have to hurt somebody.
Well, gee, you know what it comes down to at the end of the day? It comes down to respect. First of all, me and you get in an argument, I would never call you because I respect you. You're my friend. I'm not going to ever disrespect you because it ain't never that serious. I value our friendship too much and I respect you as a man. Just like you respect me as a man. We can have an argument and disagree, dog. We can disagree to disagree. Agree to disagree. There's nothing wrong with that. And even though I'm physically bigger than Peter, I'm not going to disrespect Peter as a man. I don't see that's what we fall short at, man. That's why usually you see certain incidents happen is because people don't have respect at the end of the day and they think they can just get away with saying whatever they want to say and not understand these repercussions, it's actions. Whenever you say something to someone, bro, you got to be willing to stand on it and proceed with whatever happened next.
Yeah, I think people don't play the long game, for one, which goes back to you saying people don't think before they talk. But there's certainly an absence of the long game. And I think that there's multiple factors with regard to people shooting off at the mouth and not thinking that something's going to happen. I think some of it's social media. I think some of it's the legal landscape. Goes the stakes for penalty to try to deter keep going up and up and up and up and up and up and up. So the half-ass guy who might throw punches, the stakes too high for him. So now the times that something is going to happen, they're not going to happen small, because the only person who's going to serve 5 over knocking you out over calling him a name is a serious fucking individual. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So you've now distilled only the most extreme of individuals into the action individuals. Everybody else is a talk, shut up, and move on individual. There's no spectrum. There's no gradient. In opposed to like in the 1940s or 50s, everyone's grandpa back in the day, we used to just throw some punches. Yeah, because you could throw some punches and nothing happened. Sure. The only thing happened was you lost a fight. That's the end of it. Now you lose a fight or win a fight and you go serve 3 years. You want probation for 5.
Yeah.
And see, like you said, Peter, nobody thinks about the consequences. I think one thing that happens when you get older and you get to a certain point in life is you think about things before you do them. You have to. You can't afford not to, because one wrong decision, you could look up and your wife could be slumped over in the car dead with a bullet in her head because of some dumb shit you said.
Exactly. That's why I hate. I had a couple of girls sometimes like honking my horn at somebody else in traffic.
Man, that's another thing I don't
Sweetheart.
do. Like, I don't do road rage, dog. I don't do road rage, and I don't mean to cut you off, Pete. I don't do road rage at all, dog. I'm not bumping no horns. I'm not. If you stuck at the light and it's time to go, I'm not bumping the horns. I'll just drive around you. To me, I tell people all the time, sometimes I think people get a little intimidated because I talk loud, but I'm a street racer. So that's just part of, I'm a rapper and a street racer and a street nigga. You showcase the stage. You on the stage popping it. But I don't talk, like, I'm really careful with what I say to people and how aggressively I pursue them. Like, my thing is I don't have an aggressive level of like, let me calm down for hurt somebody. Then we go into a fight. Then we go into this. I'm really 0 all the way. Like, I'm nothing to punches. You say something to me, oh man, Glasses, bitch ass nigga, blah blah blah. And why would you? What's the problem? Oh, if I still feel any sense of intimidation, it's right to punches. And if I think you're a physical threat to my life, it's right to shooting. Mm-hmm. It don't matter. And this is what I was saying to Steele. The consequences, I'd rather deal with a motherfucking jury of 12 than a grave. I'd rather be in prison for life than dead. You know what I'm saying? I just can't live in a space to where I allow somebody, and again, that's how I look at what people say to me. You know what I mean? Like, that's why I'm telling you, when people be at that light stuck, I don't bump them when I drive around them. When I barely miss an accident, I just stop and just drive back and get going. Somebody doing some bullshit, I don't look in their car. You know how you be looking at somebody's car? I don't look in their fucking car. I just drive right past them. If I did look, I'm looking to make sure they're okay.
You're outcome conscious.
That's the best thing to do, and that's why more than likely why you still sitting behind. That's why you sitting behind this microphone today, bro, and live and well, because we can really put ourselves. Remember, we just talked about that the other day. I'm a firm believer when you see these just random things like a whole house full of people and got shot up, or something happened. Something happened, bro. Ain't nobody just randomly.
They try to make it like it was just wild.
Like it was just some random stuff. No, they did something, man.
They
did something, or someone that's close to them did something. Nobody is just walking up in the house, bro. It may happen every once in a while where you get a maniac walking somewhere and but they not something that deliberate, dog. It's not happening like that.
That's fair.
Yeah.
You've done something that you don't know where people are. You can't underestimate nobody, bro. Black, white, Mexican, whoever. I don't underestimate nobody. I look at everybody as that could be my potential murderer right there.
So is there anything somebody can say that you like, this gonna get your ass whooped?
First, we already established if you call me a bitch, you better be that motherfucking man working in the meat section at motherfucking Kroger or something. Because if we on the motherfucking thing, I'm thinking you trying to try me.
Let's say they're not trying to try you. They just think you're a bitch.
Oh, we scrapping. I'm gonna let them. You gonna have to prove to me I'm a bitch. You gonna have to prove it. You gonna have to prove it. We fighting.
Peter, is there anything
bad nigga? No,
like,
I'm gonna crush their ass. I'm gonna hit their ass in the head with my fucking cane.
Yeah, we gotta see.
Fighting.
Peter, is there anything that's like, or is this just nigga moments? Like, is there? Oh, I'm white.
Well, Peter already said he get called a bitch ass motherfucker every weekend. He don't give a fuck.
It depends on what it is. Because if some guy wants to do that and you want to try to mask it like you trying to take my girl, I usually do the same thing. I go, walk over here then. There she is. Get her number. Your game's so strong. Get her number. And they never can do it.
But what if she get a motherfucker the number, Peter? What do you do then?
Then she saved me $200 on the night I can go home. It's a win-win situation.
Man, it's a beautiful thing to be white and just get to do shit just the regular logical way on.
Shit. I mean, that's the thing. It's never one guy by himself. It's like, what? I'm looking at this going, what? I'm going to get jumped by these 5 guys over here, over this side pussy? I don't care that much. Keep her. Just take her home with you then.
Hey, baby. Baby. It's time to get up. Another sunny day.